From the News Channel 5 Network, this is MorningLine.
We are back on MorningLine after the weekend. Thanks for joining us. Nick Barris here. It's nice to have you with us. I hope you did have a good weekend on this Monday. We're going to get things rolling, and guess what? It's one day before the election, but we are not talking politics, except we may get into the sense of just how dogs and cats vote, but I don't know if they're registered or not. But the important thing is more the care and treatment of your animals, as we are going to talk this morning with our monthly guest to talk animal care, veterinarian extraordinaire, Allison Fields. Allison, good morning to you. Good morning. Do dogs and cats register to vote? I don't think they can.
They don't.
Can you bring a dog with you to the polling place?
If it's a service dog, and by that I mean a legitimate service dog.
What do you mean by that, Allison? What's legitimate?
Legitimate means that you have a written prescription and your insurance probably covers some of your dog, like a seeing eye dog. Like a
seizure detecting dog,
diabetic dog, a dog who takes care of like a quadriplegic, somebody who's been injured and they pick things up and open doors and do things like that. There has been a very big trend, I would say, to take your dog everywhere with you. And that includes on airplanes and restaurants and things like that. And people are, of course, buying fake service dog vests and things like this. And what's happening is these dogs who are not service dogs are not trained to be doing this.
Right.
They're causing disruptions. They're not behaving as they should be. And they're getting companies, airlines, whatever, to say, yeah, no, we're not going to take service dogs anymore. So the people who need these service dogs, PTSD, you know, quadriplegics, blind, all of these people who need these service dogs, who their lifeline, are not allowed to take them in anymore because stupid, ignorant people just want to have their dog with them.
100% with you. You're right, and I know that's a pet peeve of yours.
I feel a little strongly about that.
Listen, and I'm with you. When it comes to the service dogs and the ones I've been around, I have no problem. As a general rule, I'm not a fan of animals in restaurants or on airplanes, okay? But in the instance of these very well-behaved, properly trained service dogs, I have no problem with it at all. No problem at all.
These people need
But these other folks, and there was some individual that once just wanted to take his cat on board because it made him calm because he had a fear of flying or something like that.
Take Xanax instead.
They wouldn't let the cat on board. Here's a newsflash. I don't want you with your cat next to me on the plane unless it's proper. And plus, are there other service animals besides dogs?
There are.
Typically, could there be cats?
Not typically. I think there could be. I don't think cats are for anything other than more psychological support. Right. They're not really good at opening doors and picking up things and bringing them to their owner.
Could you get certified for a certified service cat?
I don't know.
I don't know about that because they're not trained the way dogs can be.
The very interesting thing is that you don't really take your pet and get them certified. These animals that are service animals have come from a training facility. I have a cousin who trains dogs who for diabetic seizure and stuff like this. These dogs were not pets. These dogs were found as young dogs in shelters and tested to see if they had the mental acuity and the drive to learn these things. And then they're in training for probably at least 6 to 12 months, and then they go through a placement with someone who needs them. So just getting your dog certified I have people call all the time, how do I get my dog certified to be a therapy dog, to be a service dog? I'm like, no, that doesn't happen. But I can get you the name for the Dogs for the Blind, and when you tell them that you're blind, they can match you up. I mean, it's just, it's overwhelming to me that people feel like they should be able to take their dog with them just because they want to. I love my dog.
Oh, I know. No one loves animals more than you do.
Travels with us, but we stay in places that allow regular dogs. She's not a service dog, and she can't go in restaurants with us unless there's a few restaurants around here that have an outdoor patio.
Yeah, if they have a policy that allows it, then that's cool.
Right. But I love my dog, but she is not a service dog, and she's no means going to have a little vest that she gets to go everywhere with me.
Yeah, and like you said, the disturbing part of that is that because of these people taking advantage of it, some of these businesses are going to shut it down. No animals, even service dogs, which I'm not sure they can technically do that with the ADA.
problem is that you can't just, it's very difficult to differentiate because they buy the little vests. And so, you know, where's your documentation? And if you can buy the vest, surely you can buy documentation online.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's just, I think, just horribly tacky, horribly selfish.
Yeah, I agree.
For people to do that, that is just ruining what people who need them.
Yep. Good. Well, I'm glad we hit on that.
Yeah,
And
me
if
too.
you
We
have a
got that
service
off my
dog
chest.
industry question, give us a call on that. But the lines are open, 737-7587. Allison Fields is with us this morning. She's a veterinarian, so we can take your calls on any range of topics. But, you know, aside from that, just this time of year now, finally, it feels like fall.
But don't give up on your flea and tick control.
No, I know. I was going to wonder. It's been so dry and it's been so warm, and you know, what you need in the winter is a hard frost, which will likely come, of course, before the end of the winter to kill for next year. But how is it now?
Well, we haven't had that yet.
Right,
so
they're
fleas
still
and
out
ticks,
there.
they'll think it's summer.
Yeah.
So do not stop your flea control. Usually by the middle of October, we've had a good hard frost, and you know, we can kind of slack off on our flea control, but I would continue it this month and probably in December.
Yeah.
Because you want to go like a month after a good hard frost. So we may just be using our flea control year round this year.
Yeah, it's been that warm. I mean, and even now. All right, anything else that at this time of year, some people ease up on their flea and tick control. You say, don't do that now. Anything else that you want to pay attention to as you just embark upon where you know it's going to start getting real cold?
Well, you want to make sure if you have outdoor animals that they have the
basics.
freeze-proof water. They have good shelter, insulated, you know, nice warm place. Other than that, you know.
It's the same stuff that most people know. Now, you know, I was going to ask you this. As the temperature starts getting cooler and maybe there aren't as many rabbits and stuff running around in our neck of the woods in Mount Juliet, at night I hear coyotes all the time now. I hear them all the time. Now, you know, I have Thelma and Louise, my chickens, and they're safely ensconced in their cage. I think if a coyote really wants to get in there at some point, he may be able to dig in, but I try to set that up. Now, my question for you is, it seems like I hear them more now as the days get shorter, it's getting colder.
The leaves are falling off the trees and you have better...
Okay, maybe that's it, because I know they're around year-round. Have you ever had to treat an animal that suffered an injury that had been attacked by a coyote, or usually if the coyote strikes, that's all she wrote?
I don't think that I know of have. I've dealt with an animal who's been attacked by a deer.
A deer, wow.
And a vulture.
Okay.
But never a coyote that I know of. I mean, now, could it have been a cat that somebody thought a dog got it? Sure. But I've never had somebody say, I saw a coyote getting my X.
And I know you're not a coyote expert necessarily, but a coyote, they don't typically run in packs the way, say, wolves do, but they can be in a group, I guess. Would they attack? How small a dog do you have to worry about?
I have no idea.
Okay, because I figure Juice, our beagle, you know, he could maybe hold his own, but I wouldn't want any of our pugs out there.
I also don't think the coyotes are going to come that close to your house because you probably have lights on.
Yeah. Well, at night, you just never know. And then they'd love Thelma and Louise, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah. That's a good snack.
Yeah. We got to, well, Thelma and Louise are safe in a cage, but I was just wondering. I hear that nowadays. Raccoons sometimes you hear of an occasional if they're protecting something.
Raccoons and possums will get in, and I think they go more for the eggs, but they can kill chickens. Absolutely.
Do they go after dogs? A possum wouldn't. Would a raccoon?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And that would be an odd behavior. And
I
then
mean,
you got to
the
worry about a
raccoon
rabbit.
might go after the dog's food.
Okay.
But I don't think he'd go after the dog.
All right, interesting. I just hear them more. Now's the time to be aware of your animals when they're out and about, especially after dark. Listen, we have to take a break. Some phone calls coming in. Questions about what we've been talking about, questions about specifics on one of your pets or food and all that kind of stuff. I've got this kangaroo food. Some kangaroo. I'm going to have to ask you about that.
Why are you changing your food without talking
Oh, they had a bunch of free samples at the clinic.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that was going to send me over the edge, and you just had to say
They're free samples. It's really a good science diet. What? It's fine. They love the kangaroo.
No.
And there's also trout, and there's a salmon, which I think Mashed Tater prefers the kangaroo.
Can I just punch you in the head right now?
Let's take a break. When we come back, she'll punch me in the head during the break. And we'll come back with your phone calls and more about this kangaroo kibble.
No.
Right after this.
No, negative.